Hello everyone, TLSG here, back again with another daily Marvel Snap video. So today we are covering a Thanos Death Wave deck. And typically I don't focus my content around Series 4, Series 5. I try to keep it as accessible as possible, except for on new card release. Unless I think there is a deck that is truly above the rest, something that is really strong that isn't necessarily common knowledge. And I believe that this Thanos list falls under that category. So a couple of days ago while I was playing, I started running into quite a few Thanos builds. And I didn't know exactly where it originated from, where it came from, but Marvel Snap Zone released a meta tier list. They had a version of a Thanos Death Wave covered in it. Now, it wasn't exactly this. I did tweak it a little bit to further my liking rather than just like a copy paste. But it is very close at the core to this build. Their original version had a She-Hulk and an Odin. It didn't have a Devil Dino, and one of the other cards that we've teched in, it wasn't included there either. But I like this version a little bit better. I always found that with Wave, I typically am not dropping just that on turn 5. There's so many other plays, so many stones and different kind of things that we are probably doing. Most of the time, we're going to rotate into our Wave. Most of the time, it's not just playing Wave on 5 into a She-Hulk plus something else. It works decently on paper, but it's just whenever I was playing it, I never found it optimal to be able to go with that line. And so I took it out, I tweaked it a little bit further to my liking, and this list has been phenomenal. So this is, I think, one of the best decks in the game right now. It can hold its own against Galactus. It can hold its own against Hawk decks, against Junk decks, against Shuri decks. A lot of times the Shuri deck is going to rely on a really impactful ability on turn 5 or turn 6, and you can hit them, unfortunately, you can hit them with a Leech. That is what he's in the game for, is to be able to counter those big all-in combo plays, and Taskmaster, Arnim Zola, those fall under that category. And as long as we can take out that second card of theirs, then the one big power Red Skull is definitely very manageable at that point. And so otherwise, I haven't ran into a deck that just obliterates this, that it doesn't feel like this has a shot against, and that's scary. We all know how oppressive Thanos was before, and this definitely isn't as flexible as flood all of your stuff onto the board on 3, switch the location of Lockjaw, flood it again. Not quite to that level, but it is very strong, and it can adapt to whatever the opponent is playing through its tech choices, through some of the big power plays. So even if they're running a Sandman, Wave, Electro ramp deck, we have enough big resources that it doesn't necessarily hurt us all that much. And so I apologize to anything that this brings into the ladder, but I feel like as a content creator, I want to cover and showcase the best decks that I can. I typically don't hold anything for myself. Otherwise, I would hold this because I think it is that good that it can really be disruptive to just about any deck that's in the game right now. And so we might as well abuse it while we can. If you want to see more of this deck or any of the other decks that we cover live, make sure to be following us on twitch.tv/TLSGSnap. Otherwise, we're going to go ahead and jump over into a couple of games. I hope you guys enjoy. All right, next up we have Aiken 013, or first up, rather, we have Aiken 013. We're going to go ahead and turn the far left lane with Reality Stone. Sometimes reality can be terrible. Sometimes it's not a great thing. But we're going to go ahead and play it early, just to get the rotation going. Yeah, we're going to do Space Stone for an extra draw. We do have Lockjaw, but without the big enablers, Lockjaw sometimes isn't the best card for us to utilize. I mean, it does enable our high roll, but we can't really like flood everything on 3 like you could before, which is fine. You really shouldn't be able to do that, but we'll take it. The thing with this is that it makes it where you have to choose, or you have to decide between doing a Time Stone into a turn 4 Leech or rotating on 4 after dropping your Lockjaw. And so that's one of the reasons why it kind of took the standard Lockjaw deck out of operation or out of running. Now, the reason that this one is coming back is because it has some really frustrating techs. The Wave can be so disruptive to decks that are not anticipating or that just are relying on being able to flood multiple cards. Speaking of Wave, while we typically will be able to do both a death and something else, And the version that Marvel Snap Zone featured had She-Hulk in it. That leans a little bit for me to a little bit too far into wave. I don't find myself just playing a wave outright on 5. Usually it comes more of as a disruption factor than anything else. And so I like this version just a touch better. That way we don't have to try to play around with the wave. Okay, so they have, that's not great. So they have the Cosmo that they block us in the Moira Island. I'm assuming that they're running a Shuri deck and that they used their turn instead of utilizing it for Shuri, they used it for Cosmo to act as a block or to act as a counter or a blocker. So let's play our Leech in the left lane. We do have the ability to do a decent play with like a Devil Dino. Now, if they decide, I guess they haven't done Shuri. So, and if this is a Shuri deck, which I'm almost sure of it, well, I'm not proud of that one. I'm almost sure that this is a Shuri deck. So if we do, I don't know, a Devil Dino here, we can lean in with maybe an Iron Man plus a Power Stone on the next turn. Our Devil Dino is not going to be huge. Ooh, so they skip. So that way they can do a She-Hulk and a Taskmaster. We should have done Leech. I second guessed myself because, I mean, the Red Skull and all of the other plays that are pretty decent following that up. So, it is what it is. So they are just going to be 9 power, a 9 power She-Hulk. Maybe even an Arrow they might drop down, but that's not really our biggest concern. I think we're going to go with the Doctor Doom. I think that's our safest play line. I think they play a She-Hulk and a Taskmaster. So She-Hulk here, Taskmaster here. Oh, wait. Okay. So the She-Hulk and the Captain Marvel to act as a kind of a floater so that they can find a way to win at least one lane. But again, we got countered with the Cosmo play. Very heads up from Aiken. We got countered with the Cosmo play in our Lockjaw rotation lane, but we're still able to flexibly find a way to pull out the win. We'll go ahead and take the 2 cubes. And we'll jump over into the next one. All right, next up we have Jace. So the first location is the Vibranium Mines. We're not going to play there. We don't want the Vibranium to disrupt our draw. We would much rather play for the right lane, end up destroying it with like a Killmonger. Ooh, Project Pegasus is pretty big for us. We have so many possible play lines from that. But I think what we're going to do is we're going to Lockjaw, Soulstone, and then Space Stone. Now, we could go with the Leech. I don't know. If Jace is running a Galactus, that's tough. Is this too greedy? Yes, this is too greedy. Let's keep ourselves in check. We're gonna do just the Leech this turn. They snapped, so whatever it is, I think they're excited about what they have in hand. If it's Galactus, then our Leech comes down first. Maybe we can hit their Null. Maybe we can really restrict them from doing what they want to do. Maybe they have a Sandman that's coming down. They do. Oof. So we should have flooded last turn. Ah, that's tough. That's all right, I guess. We do have the Doctor Doom, which is going to be decent for us. Oh, no. That's so rough. We could Lockjaw. We could Lockjaw, Doctor Doom, rotate. We don't really want Killmonger to come out, though. We want to just be putting as much value on the board every single turn as possible. That's rough. Let's go with the Soulstone. It's our highest impact play. Terrible, but it is. The Electro tries to come down, but it has been leeched. So then we get Devil Dino. Devil Dino is big for us here on turn 5, and then turn 6 is the Doctor Doom. Both of those are going to be very, very big for us to use. So I don't necessarily care about anything else. I guess Iron Man. No, Iron Man is not going to be better than Devil Dino. Let's go ahead and do Space Stone to the left. We'll draw another card. Devil Dino, and then Doctor Doom. We don't necessarily care. This is an Electro ramp. They don't have a Hawk. There's no way that they have a Hawk. So Wave came down. That was the card that they top decked. They might have one other non-leeched card. All right. So since they did that, we can do Magneto. I was fully anticipating doing something like the Doctor Doom, but if we do Magneto, we're going to pull the Wave. We're going to pull the Electro. This is going to be capped out. And then they're kind of just stuck. If they have an Odin that they're wanting to, or that they do use here, also kind of stuck. Let's go ahead and do that. The Odin does come down to re-trigger the wave, which is fine. Since we have a lot of really big, powerful plays, we're not too restricted by the secondary wave coming down. And then Sandman, we don't have to worry about them valuing us on the last turn. And then we do have the right lane locked in. Let's just Devil Dino. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. This is a 15 power play. Let's play it into the left lane. We right now have the lead in mid. If they try to preemptively Shang Chi or big play, then they could technically do it here and swing this one and they have the left lane. If they do a Doctor Doom still, that's only going to bring, so this is 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 15. So 17 total. Doctor Doom is not going to, it only brings them to 14. And so we're going to go ahead and lock in the Devil Dino. We do get the retreat. After the early snap, when they saw Project Pegasus come down, they were anticipating the flood or the need for us to flood things, not necessarily required with this Thanos list. We were able to find a way to win. The good thing about this version is that if it gets hit with Sandman, we have a lot of the same components of an Electro ramp deck. We have the Doctor Doom, we have the Magneto, we have Devil Dino, which is going to be pretty big for us, a Leech to be able to restrict them. So we'll go ahead and take the 2 cubes. Let's go ahead and jump over into the next one. All right, next up we have Varix. The first location is the Avengers compound, so we're going to have to play there on turn 5. So we don't necessarily want to play there too early. Ooh, they have a Quinjet coming down. So it could be a deck that we featured recently in like a Dino Hawk deck. It could also be like a Moon Zoo, both of which we kind of have to be on the lookout for, or just kind of cognizant of that they exist. Let's go ahead and do a turn 2 wave into a turn 3 Leech, maybe? Turn 3 Leech, turn 3 Magneto. I don't know. They have the Zabu that comes down. So this does look like a Dino Hawk deck. We're going to be mean. We're going to hit him with the Leech. I know that it's just incredibly disruptive. It's incredibly unfun. It just works so well at countering certain decks that rely on those abilities instead of just raw stats. And we're going to do it. We're going to do it. I'm not going to snap into it. Whenever you guys run this and test this, you can. We could also go Doctor Doom this turn. Doctor Doom doesn't hurt us because of the Squirrel Girl. We'll just do Leech. We'll do Leech and call it good. So the Moon Girl. Oh, they double down on what they had. So like a Hawk, a Dino. Those are now gone. And we made them upset. Leech is just so tough in certain matches. It hard counters so many things so much of the time. We're gonna go ahead and take the 1 cube. We don't feel good about it. We don't feel proud. Let's jump over into the next one. It's Varix again. I feel so bad. Kinda. We feel a little bad. So it's Varix again immediately after the last time where we leeched and they retreated. So I feel a little bit bad about it. I almost feel like retreating just to give them the cube back, but we are going to stick it out. We are going to just continue to play this one. We have Leech in hand. We have Wave. We'll see. We'll see what it's going to be best for us. We have Killmonger, so maybe if there's enough 1-cost cards, we prioritize that. Dark Dimension's not terrible. We could do Wave and then hide a Doctor Doom behind there. Varix, I'm so sorry. We're gonna do the Wave combo again. Oh, Wave into the Leech. It's so mean. It's so mean. So now if they have their key resources in hand, they're just defenseless at this point. They do have the initiative. So if they have Cosmo, if I'm them, I play it into Lemuria because this is getting a little too crowded for my liking. But typically I would play it into mid. Well, they at least hit a Hawk here, which is big. That's good for them. I think they were able to hide their Hawk. All right, we're gonna go ahead and do Lockjaw and Soulstone. In our deck, we still have some. No, we have some stones. We don't necessarily care about pulling into the stones. So let's do Shang Chi, Soulstone. I'm gonna aim to maybe not have initiative going into this last turn, so that they reveal their hawk first, and then we, I think, then we just destroy it. We're gonna play everything over into the dark dimension, and aim for that. I don't know that that will work for us, but we're gonna try. It's not. Ooh. So do they grab initiative here? They do. They do grab initiative back, which is definitely unfortunate for them. We have 9 cards left, so their hawk is going to be huge. So do we do this? 9 power mid. I was thinking about doing like a Lockjaw to go wide. 9 power mid. They're going to have to play for all 3 locations because of the Shang Chi. I'm certain this is either a Devil Dino or a Hawk, or maybe it's Mystique and they just completely bait us. But we're going to lock it in and try. They do two cards in the left lane. Wow. Okay, so the Hawk in the left lane, they win that one drastically. We win mid. They have the Devil Dino. They're going to be so... And Shang-Chi, it is right at 9 power. That's the second. Varix, you don't deserve this. We're going to wait a minute before we queue up. I don't want to go against Varix again. That just feels so wrong. Like they played around that beautifully. They played around it knowing we had the Leech. They played it impeccably. But unfortunately, we were able to anticipate it. We're going to go ahead and jump over into the next one. All right, next up we have Greedy Mobile Game. And previously they were using Of the Year as their title. This time it is Established 2022. Just as an update for this name. And they have the Collectors, their avatar. I've run into them a couple of times on stream. Now, I used Timestone. I really shouldn't have, because we don't have anything that we're ramping into. No good reason to ramp into it. Unfortunately, we did, and it's just going to be something that we have to live with. And so we do have the Space Stone that's going to draw us an extra card. So now ramping into the Leech would have been beautiful. And they get the lucky last location flip from the Isle of Silence, which is big. I'm going to go ahead and move one of the Raptors. It gives us an extra +3. And then eventually we're going to do a Dr. Doom, which is going to be an extra +3 on the Doombot as well. That's our tentative play line, at least for now. Okay, so they have the Killmonger. That's fine. That actually helps our death drastically. So I thought this was going to be a Shuri deck, but the Killmonger is telling me otherwise. And we're okay with it. So I assume they probably have Shang-Chi, a few other cards. We're going to hit them with the Leech. They do have, it looks like the infinite card back, which is pretty big. I mean, for saying it's a greedy game. Oh, no way. Reality sucks. All right, next up we have Mavris. And they didn't emote back. They are running the base avatar, but I don't know that this is a bot. This looks more like someone trying to impersonate a bot, because they removed everything. And so we'll see. They do have the Sunspot that fit into the miniaturized lab. We can go ahead and rotate with Lockjaw. We can play Lockjaw. Next turn we can rotate 3 cards if we really want to. They soak with their Sunspot. So do we get the 50-50 flip of having priority here? We do. Okay. Last time I used Soulstone, we got absolutely obliterated by TVA. Worst feeling in the world. All right. So let's do this. We're going to rotate 2. We're going to do Space Stone to the right. We'll be able to move Lockjaw over, and then we can just continue the flood. Kind of want to snap into it, but we're just going to let this one play out. They're soaking some more. Still haven't played anything other than Sunspot. Interesting. So we're going to have quite a bit that comes down. The Avengers Compound. After next turn, we'll have to play here. Wow. Wait. Yeah. The Thanos and the Chavez is huge here. If they skip and float any more here, then This will be a really easy target for our Shang Chi. Let's go ahead and do the Time Stone. Next turn, we will have to play into the Avengers compound. We're going to go ahead and rotate. Maybe we hit Killmonger. I don't know. Maybe we hit Wave. Either way, we're going to have... well, we draw Killmonger. We don't hit it. And then we hit Wave. Wow. What are the chances of that happening? So they do have the Shuri on curve. I think what we're going to do... It's so dirty. But we're gonna Leech here. Actually, no. Let's hit him with the Killmonger. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. No, 1, 2, 3. It's only 3. It's only 2 cards. It's only 3 cards actually. Let's hit him with the Leech. They deserve it. They're running Shuri. I have to justify it to myself. If this is Red Skull, then they're not going to be able to Taskmaster. They're not going to be able to follow it up with that, like an Arnim Zola, unless they happen to top deck it. That would be the only way that they can pull that one off. So we could Doctor Doom here. But that rotates. We have the chance, we have the 1 out of 4 to pull into death. And then otherwise we have our stones that are in our deck. So I think it may be better to do Shang Chi to clear up the mid lane. They're not going to be able to Taskmaster. They won't be able to Arnim Zola anyways. So Shang Chi the mid lane. But that leaves our left lane barren, right? How do we want to play this? There has to be a way to win this one. Just figuring out what it is. So the Killmonger would take out their Sunspot, but that's not huge. I don't know if this is the play, but that's what we're going to do. We're going to do the Devil Dino to the left. We're going to rotate our Soul Stone in the right lane. They do end up retreating. Okay, so all of that overthinking for, well, nothing. So I'm assuming that they were leaning into the Shuri playline. And that's one of the main reasons that Leech remains in this deck, is that the Shuri counter, it relies on having those, the Captain Marvel that can rove the board, the She-Hulk that you can skip and then flood, the Taskmaster, the Arnim Zola. Without those, it's really unimpactful. And so that's the main reason that the Leech is prevalent in this deck. But we're going to go ahead and end the video after that one. I actually went 5-0 originally with the deck, and then we went on a little bit of a loss streak. You saw one of them where we did Reality Stone into TVA, obliterated. And we had a couple of other odd games that fell into a string, but overall the deck is fairly solid. You can change out some of them. We had pretty decent luck with it. I'm going to test it even further on stream, so definitely be following us on twitch.tv/TLSG Snap. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, give it a like and a comment down below. As always, this has been TLSG. Later, guys.